Welcome back to the Great Imposters Podcast.
We are refreshed.
We're refreshed. We took 6 weeks off.
Yes.
That's too much time.
It was too much time for Joelle.
We're not doing it again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She said no more.
No more.
breaks.
I've been like chomping at the bit to get back
Jonesing.
here. I've been jonesing to get back here.
Yeah.
We are so excited. We had the most fun in season 1 and we've had some time to think about season 2. And we're just ready to go. And we have an exciting episode. Now, the first thing I want to mention, though, if you are watching on YouTube, you will see my hat. Because remember, episode 1 of 15 of season 1, we said maybe one day we'll get sweatshirts or whatever that say Banter Queen, because that was just like something we coined. It's kind of a insider's joke of the Great Imposters Podcast. So we made them. It's time.
Yes.
We're just doing the things. We're pulling the triggers. So we have this hat, which is Banter Queen.
Dex, come here. Oh, you got it right there. Okay.
Yeah, I got him. Come on. This
Dex
is like
also sporting. Yeah.
very infomercial style. And then we also have the Imposter one, which is more of a neutral. Okay. So we have the Imposter hat. We have the Banter Queen hat. And they're both available for purchase.
Yeah. So you can choose to be our Imposter crew or our Banter Queen crew.
Or both.
Or both.
Different flavors. And you know, I will also say they are completely different colors.
Yes, different tones.
Different colors, different
vibes,
dare I say, seasons.
Which maybe some of you are thinking, wait, I've heard of this. I've seen it on Instagram. I've seen these seasons on TikTok. Yeah.
It's all the rage.
It's all the rage right now.
Well, today's your lucky day.
It's your lucky freaking day, because we're going to go deep into the color theory
with Miss Hannah
Garber.
So we have Hannah here. She is the premier color analysis queen of Nashville. And I'm going to start by gifting you
oh my gosh,
the Banter Queen hat.
I was secretly hoping to get some swag while I was here.
Yay.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, does that go pretty well with your summer?
First of all, there's some great crossover. Okay. Oh, and I'm a winter.
Oh, she's a winter.
I'm a winter. I'm icy and cold. It's okay. We'll get into it.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
But yes, there is good crossover in the hat.
Totally good crossover.
Right? And in this one too.
Actually, yes.
Right?
Wait, what are you saying crossover?
Like there's different undertones in the two
okay,
colors.
It'll work for multiple.
Right. So that's a great merchandise order, because I think we can get a lot of seasons covered in this.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Well, we are so excited to have Hannah here because, I mean, like we try to do with all things, like we like to immerse. And Annie and I were so curious to get our colors done, our seasons done. And we went to Hannah a few weeks ago and we had our colors and seasons analyzed, I guess you could say. And it was, number one, the most fun thing ever. Like we had the best time. And two, the wealth of information it gives you, like if you haven't done it, which I'm sure 99% of you have not, you need to put it on your 2024 vision board to do this. So we're going to talk all about it. But first off, Hannah, we like to start with an icebreaker.
Let's go.
And this is not an original one, but Hannah is so sweet. Before we came to her house, she had listened to a few episodes, which I thought was so nice. So she already knew some of our little quirks, and she did kind of like make a silly joke about me being a black coffee drinker. We wanted to ask you, what is your coffee order?
Ooh, well, okay. Typically I make coffee at home.
Good. Love that. Budget friendly.
An economical queen.
It is economical. I'll tell you what, lately I've really been into the colostrum in the coffee.
Really?
Have you?
Next level.
Okay.
It's a chocolate flavored colostrum, and then you get the little whippy thing out, and then it makes a latte.
Wow.
I'm really into that. Get a little superfood in with the caffeine.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Are you seeing that? It's like hair and nail benefits, right? Or what is
digestion?
Yes, literally all the things,
right?
like gut health, immune boosting.
Okay.
I need all of that.
Okay, great.
If something says gut health, I will blindly buy it.
Got it.
Like that's where I'm at.
Okay.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, on my journey.
Yeah.
I love that.
We're really revealing our ages too.
For sure. And also, I just wanted to say before we start, Declan before asked about just like when I was describing you to Declan before you walked in, I said the best way I could describe Hannah is she should be the third co-host of this. Like that's how.
Oh my God.
We just fit. Like the three of us just had the best time together. Banter Queen.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You are crowned.
I have imposter syndrome right now because I'm like, she's funnier than I am.
Stop it.
Shit.
Impossible.
What am I going to do on this podcast?
Oh my God.
Oh,
stop.
I guess actually that's a good, like fourth segue, which is if you're new with us today, the podcast is centered around imposter syndrome. So we like to bring on guests that can kind of tell their story and how they have dealt with imposter syndrome throughout, and we love to tie it back into really like interesting industries like color analysis. And if you have listened before, then you know all about season 1, and you also know that this is kind of the perfect first episode coming out of our like body image and dressing trilogy. It's like we're kind of keeping that conversation going.
Yes,
with Hannah.
That's a great point.
Yes.
So Hannah, let's jump in. So we always ask, give us your stats, name, age, where you're from, what you do, etc. Let's hear it.
Okay, Hannah Garber. I was raised in upstate New York, really small town.
Okay.
Came down to Nashville on a dream to work in the music industry on the business side. So did that, had that life, and then here we are now. But at 43, I think I'm 43. Yeah, 43, and growing this business and loving it.
When did you make the switch? What was the leap?
Wow. Well, okay. So had the kids. My husband was still doing live sound touring. I was working on the administration side of the music industry, and something had to give. Like he wasn't home on the weekends. It was just a lot. So I stepped off into more of an entrepreneurial type of role. And several years later, I ended up opening this business. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And how long has it been?
It's been about 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just a baby.
Oh, yeah, but that's amazing. I mean, listen, so many people who listen to this are going to need to hear this because you post 40 reinvented yourself and started a new business.
Honestly.
And it's thriving.
Yeah.
Honest to God.
That's
No,
so
for
cool.
like the first time in my life, I feel like I am like really doing something.
Hell
I
yeah.
really do. It feels good. It feels awesome.
And how old are your kids? Remind me.
Okay, so I have an 11-year-old boy and a 14-year-old girl.
Okay. So do you feel like, I guess if someone here is listening and wanting to kind of make a pivot once their kids are more grown, like if you could look back, like what were the ages where things got a little more steady, where like you felt like you could launch this business?
Honestly, probably in the last 5 years. Like when they can start to go to the bathroom by themselves.
That's a really good.
They can make a bowl of cereal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. Like even leave them home a little bit unattended to go to the grocery store. You just wait, you guys. There'll be so much more flexibility.
I don't even believe you. I can't even see it.
Like the grocery store now is like a spa day. I'm super into it.
Oh my God.
I love it.
That is so fun. Yeah, Annie has a 2-year-old, which is like, it's the only difference between us, really.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm already almost there to where, like, my kids are almost 5 and 7.
Yeah.
And
You feel...
yeah.
Okay,
I feel like Cal's the one who's really...
He tried to like jump off the porch yesterday.
Yeah. When they
right.
stop, like when you stop worrying about them burning down the house or dying, it's a good time to think about yourself.
The next part of your life begins.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
So this is something we like to ask every guest, and it really directly ties to imposter syndrome. What are you great at? And say it with your chest.
I am super great at hyping people up.
Fuck yeah, you are.
I am a cheerleader in my soul, in my spirit. Like I'm going to build you up and make you walk into a room and feel like $1 million, 100%.
And it's so genuine. You know,
so genuine.
You know, I feel like sometimes when women are like building a lot of people up, I see through it. I'm like, you said this.
Like it feels vapid, kind of.
Yeah, like you said the same thing to Joelle you said to me.
And those are also the people who have like a mug that says like "girl boss."
Yeah. Yep.
I might have had one of those once, but whatever, it's fine.
You know what I mean?
You within like 20 minutes of meeting us, like you pegged our personalities. You knew exactly like what we needed to hear, and I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You even told me to tighten my bra straps. I really needed.
Yeah,
to
we
hear
lifted
that.
those puppies right up.
Yeah, we lifted
and
them.
they're looking good today, by the way.
See,
Thanks,
there's
everyone.
the hype. There it is.
They're right and tight.
Sorry, Dad, if you're listening. Wow, you are great at that.
Yes.
And I'm glad you. Honestly, too, you are one of our guests who's been able to say that the most confidently.
Well, thank
Good for you, girl.
I do believe it.
Good.
Like whether you like it or not.
I think you belong in Nashville.
Oh, thank you.
I would love, but
sure.
I would kind of like to do like a comedy skit where we take you to like Seattle.
Let's go.
And you do that.
Take the show on the
and
road.
We'll see what happens.
gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of like the Long Island medium who would just go up to people and be like, do you want to hear from your dead grandmother? Because I'm getting through. She's coming right now. Like that's
seriously.
Except yours is way more fun.
Like I want to see you try to do it in Seattle. When I first moved here from there and people would like talk to me at the park, I would be like, are they going to murder me? Like, I'd be like, what's going on?
Oh, probably for sure in Seattle. Yeah.
Right. Well, and here though, when people talk to me, I was very like, what's happening?
Yeah. Because she was like conditioned.
I was conditioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
oh my gosh.
love that. All right. So we know you're great at building up women, and well, all genders, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can throw some compliments Dex's way in a little bit. Yeah. Did you always kind of know that you were good at this and that you wanted to do this as a career?
I've always loved to play dress up.
Okay.
So I was the girl that you came to my house after school. If there was a dance, if there was a prom, if you didn't have something to wear, you were borrowing something of mine. Oh. I was doing your makeup. Like I was stealing my mom's makeup and doing your makeup. Like, yeah, I was dyeing everybody's hair. I was getting like, the Frost and Glow kits from CVS. Yeah. I mean, I was pretty much like illegally running my own cosmetology situation.
That's amazing.
From middle school, I played with Barbies.
Yeah.
Like maybe I still do.
Yeah.
Maybe I
respect.
No judgment.
Okay. And in elementary school, instead of like playing soccer or something, I had a sketchbook and I would draw fashion. Yeah.
Aww.
I thought I was going to be a clothing designer, and who knows? Maybe I still will.
You still could.
Who knows?
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's also, and I know that we could get into this, but I guess this could also be a good time. In addition to doing color analysis, you also style. You
Yes.
also do closets and you
Yes.
style, right?
All the things.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh man, so really color is just the first step. But there's so many women. I mean, we're still coming out of this crazy pandemic 4 years later.
Yeah.
And now there's weddings and there's, graduations and all these things. And we're opening our closets and like, I have nothing to wear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or I have a closet full of clothes that no longer fit me or honor my body.
Mm-hmm.
So I really break it down. I break down your body geometrics, and then we do clothing personality testing.
Oh.
So for example, we could go to Green Hills Mall.
Okay.
And like Annie, I could be like, you know what? This is really trendy right now. We're going to get you some Doc Martens.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get you some barrel jeans
Okay.
and a crop top.
Uh-huh.
It's trendy, right? But that's where I'm different from, say, a typical, because you're like, hell no.
My face was like, I have to wear a crop top.
No. So the difference is just because something is on trend doesn't mean it honors who you are or your body.
Yeah.
So once we dial that in, then we can go find pieces that make sense for you.
That is I love hearing that, because you're right. And then any kind of like styling adjacent thing I've ever done, there was a push towards trends.
Yeah.
And we have to be honest. I feel like especially once, like you said, once your body has changed and all that after kids, like we have to be honest with ourselves that some trends, no matter how much staying power they have, are just not going to look good on you.
Absolutely.
Like I'm 5'2".
Uh-huh.
I don't think barrel jeans are going to work. I think they're going to make me look like one of Snow
Like an
White's
actual
dwarfs.
barrel, maybe?
Yeah, like an
For
actual
real.
barrel, or like I'm wearing like chaps, like riding chaps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that is so great to hear, because I feel like you do see some stylists or some people that are working within women's closets and men's just go straight to like what's trendy, what's going to make them feel younger, when it's like,
well, and it's like your lifestyle and who you really are.
Yeah.
Because if I start pulling things for you that don't make sense, you're going to feel like an alien and you're not going to want to wear it. And then you're not going to feel confident.
Yeah. Right.
Insert imposter syndrome.
Right.
Then you're not going to do the thing that you're good at.
Yes. And if you suddenly show up in like a very trendy outfit and that's not usually your MO, it's like it just draws too much attention. And then it's like, oh my gosh, where'd you get that?
Yes, that's so true. It's like it's more about the clothing as opposed to the entire person.
Like they see the outfit before they see Annie.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah,
I don't
I
want
feel
that.
like that is exactly what Hannah helped us with. For so long, I've been just wearing like what feels good or what I thought looked good and dyeing my hair a certain light color, and it's like
just living a lie.
Just living a lie, and just like doing too much. Your hair looks so good, as opposed to just like you look great and you look the way you should look.
Yeah.
That was the biggest click for me when I went to. So let's use that as a quick segue.
Yeah.
Hannah, explain to our listeners what color analysis is and what the process is like with you.
Okay. So color analysis has actually been around for over 40 years. The company that I'm associated with is a UK-based company. But the first thing that we do...
I love that. I feel like whenever something comes from England, it's like, oh, it's legitimate.
It's special.
Legit, yeah.
It just makes it that much more bougie.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Exactly. Respect.
But first, we have to find your undertones. So people are generally more cool-based or more warm-based. And if you're more cool-based, that's going to put you between the winter and summer seasons, which you may have heard some of this online. If you're on the warm side, that's going to put you between autumn and spring. So just like when you buy makeup, you know, it usually will say warm, cool, neutral, stuff like that. Like we all have an undertone, like you are born with a blood type. This will never change. And so when I surround you in certain types of colors and contrasts, that's when your best, like your most authentic beauty shows up. Everything comes into focus. I can't even. I'm just so excited about it.
It was crazy. What blew my mind the most was, well, first of all, I had my undertone. I went home and realized that I had a lot of like cool tone makeup and stuff.
Sure.
Also living a lie.
We were completely opposite.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
I thought I was like a warm autumn. You thought you were like a cool something.
Yeah.
And we were, spoiler alert, we are complete opposite.
Yes.
It was,
Yes.
it has changed my life.
Yes.
The entire thing.
The other thing that was wild. Well, first of all, I feel like I get a lot of questions now that I've done it where people think it's based on like complexion and skin tone.
Okay.
And so trying to explain to people that no, you are like, you have an undertone and that's what it's based on.
Yeah,
And you're
anybody
born
can
with
be
it.
anything.
Yeah.
So sometimes some of these online tests will say, look at your veins, look at your eyes, look at your hair
Yeah.
color. Those are data points, but until you really sit in the chair with no makeup, all natural lighting, and then bring in these precision dyed drapes, that's when you can see it in real time.
Yes.
Because that transformation is huge. And for some people, it's way more obvious than others.
Yeah.
But it's very impactful.
The like snatching it does
That was
of your
crazy.
facial structure because light will bounce off
Right.
and like create good shadows or bad shadows.
Correct.
And so when you were nailing our season with the color swatches, it was like, oh my, I have a jawline.
The
Yeah, like
gua
I'm
sha.
brighter. I have
everything. No makeup on and I look at my fucking cheekbone.
Yeah, it was wild.
That's
what
bone
got-
structure, baby.
Yeah.
I have to say, and this is, I'm going to say it so Hannah doesn't have to because it's her job, but I'm going to be the ambassador. Do not do this online and expect a accurate result.
Yeah.
It might be if it's super obvious.
And it might be.
But those people who have said, I just did it online, I already know what I am. You might not, because this is coming from someone who swore, and also a makeup artist who, like, humbling, by the way, but like that I thought, but I was also dyeing my hair the wrong color. I was like maybe fake tanning the wrong undertone, that kind of stuff. So all I was doing was like working against myself.
Right.
Like instead of just using the things that actually made me not have to work so hard.
Yeah.
Truly.
Like it
Truly
was
amazing.
really unbelievable.
Okay, so you're with House of Color.
Yes.
And since it's a classy ass UK brand, it's OUR.
Oh,
Yes.
Color,
Yeah.
yes.
Duh. Are there like a lot of different companies? Like how'd you choose them to get certified with?
Man, honestly, they were the only ones on my radar.
Okay.
But it's very niche.
Okay.
There's probably 400 of us in the US. And then we
That's
have
it?
some sisters over the pond that do it as well. Yeah. Very, very niche.
Sisters in color.
That's right.
Yes. Over the pond.
I love that.
So what's the training like? Did you get to go to London?
I would wish.
Okay.
No. But we have trainers that are in London that have got like 25 years of experience. Incredible. I mean, to think that someone's been doing this for 25 years, like where
Yeah.
have you been my whole life?
For sure.
It started virtually and then I went in person. At the time it was Kansas City just because that's where the head trainer was.
Okay.
And then we did it. It was like fully just immersive, phones off, locked in a room for days with models. I mean, it was awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Like working
That's
on
wild.
people constantly.
And it sounds like the perfect career for a creative person who likes to be around others and hype them up and also work from home,
yes.
right? Like it's
Literally House of Color. The majority of us are home based.
Yeah.
And so, I have a private area of my home that works out beautifully right in off the front
It's
door.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
It was-
great.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's great. That is so nice.
it sounds like the perfect career for, and I really hope we reach some women who are like and I know we will because it's our demographic, but 30s and 40s,
yes,
a little lost in their career, a little lost in identity. And I just think first of all, it's underserved. Like, you're the only one in Nashville, right?
There are like 3 of us in the area. There's one in Brentwood and East Nashville.
Okay, but there should be like 50.
Hey.
I mean, I hope not.
Maybe I just need to open like an entire salon.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But don't you think it's like a pretty underserved like profession, right? Like, because so many people want to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we're all busy. Everyone in this industry is. Yeah.
That's amazing.
What's interesting too is if you talk to someone who is maybe in like their 50s or 60s, even 70s, they're like, oh yeah, I did that. Because it was really big in what, the 80s and 90s?
Wait, someone just said this to me yesterday.
70s and 80s.
70s and 80s.
Yeah.
This was a huge movement. There was a book out.
Okay.
And even I think like Mary Kay and Arbonne, some of the department stores were dabbling in this.
Okay.
But it was the time where women were getting into the workforce, heavy corporate jobs, power dressing. Think of like the blazers with the really intense shoulder pads and the big jewelry. So power dressing and knowing your power colors went hand in hand. And then when that sort of trend of clothing went out of fashion, it sort of just died off with it, but it is fully back.
It's so back.
So
Does
back.
it feel like it happened overnight? Or
Kind of.
Yeah.
To be honest.
TikTok, do you really think?
Yeah. No, I started my business soft launch. People find it very organically. It's sort of the secret society, like you need to have a special knock to get in type of situation. But honestly, since December of last year, I can't sit down. I mean, I'm sitting down today, which I'm enjoying very much, by the way.
Comfy
But
couch.
it's been wild.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I do think TikTok and Instagram and just all the people that are posting, and everyone's just really curious. So even if they start to dabble in an app, eventually they're going to find me because it's piqued their interest enough that they want to find out more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Love that.
the first time I actually heard of this was when I was in Palm Springs in December for a wedding. And one of my friends, Brittany, she's Curated Style by Brit. She has her own practice of doing this in San Diego. So if you're in California, go see Curated Style by Brit. But she was like, I was like, what do you do? What is this new thing you're doing? Because like her kids are a little older now. She has 3 kids and she found this like passion for it. So that was, and then soon after I found you. So I could do it in person.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
No, and I get it. Sometimes like when you're trying to explain it to people, like not to pick on husbands, but let's do it.
Yeah.
So like, wait a minute, honey, you want to pay someone to tell you what colors look good or bad on you?
Yeah.
Like,
that was my husband.
That's not even fully it.
Right.
Like that's just like not even scratching the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, good segue.
Good segue.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? Because we talked. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the haters. Let's stay on the.
Let's stay on the haters.
Yeah, let's stay on the haters.
Hey, we're making it if we have haters. Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Because there are a lot of people that kind of don't believe in it, don't think it's real, or they are very sticker shocked by the price. So I'm going to ask you a question. But the one thing that Joelle and I were like, it's actually a really, really great investment because you do it once.
You do it once.
Yeah.
It's a one-time event.
It's a one-time event, and it's so thorough.
I agree.
So
this was actually what Annie and I said. So we're going to get into this. I'm looking at all of our people right now. Everyone watching.
Look them dead in the eyes, Joelle.
It's expensive. This is not a cheap service. So you have to invest. If you're going to look at the sticker, it's too expensive. I don't need that. Fine. That's your, whatever. It's your money. You do what you want with it. However, this is the best way to put it. Annie and I went to have our colors done. We paid the cost of getting our colors done, which was expensive. We then took a girls' trip 2 weeks later and spent double that cost per person getting a massage and a facial at a spa, which is something we do a few times a year, okay? Yeah. Which gives you an hour of relaxation with no other benefits other than you relaxed. Love the spa. We'll be going back.
Maybe a couple like extractions of like blackheads.
For sure.
That's it.
And like a couple knots out of the shoulders. But
yeah,
all I'm saying is like, it was just it was so funny to realize like the value of your money. Like we went to we have knowledge for life. We don't have to go back.
Yeah.
Like you pay it once and then you get it forever.
Yes.
Forever.
So that's my commercial for Hannah and just color analysis in general.
Yeah,
when
we're pretty passionate.
We are passionate because like I've changed everything and I feel amazing.
Yeah. And she looks amazing.
You guys look amazing.
Thank you. Could you imagine if we showed up today not wearing are colors that
No, I would leave. Yeah, no, I'd leave. I would be. I'm not doing it.
I would just be wearing a crisp black and white outfit, stark. Because I'm in autumn, so I need to be in my.
And I also wanted the YouTube viewers to be able to see. So Hannah gives you one of these color palettes that is within your season. So you always have this, like, it almost looks like you go to like the paint store and, you know, you're getting different colors. And I know which colors look best on me. So if I'm going shopping, I can take this with me, hold it up to the fabric, be like, I know this is going to look great.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
It's so amazing. All right. So when we're talking to like husbands who don't get it, or if you're talking to a woman who, you know, is like color analysis, do you feel impostery, or did you at first? Would you feel like, okay, yeah, what am I doing?
There are times that I feel like I'm a magician.
Okay.
I mean, even as you guys experienced, I'm literally flipping drapes around you. Like, I feel like I'm going to pull a rabbit out of a hat
Totally.
next.
It has that energy.
But in a sense, I actually am pulling a rabbit out of a hat because I am showing you just the potential of your authentic beauty. Yeah. So like, yes, you are attractive. I'm going to make you more. I'm going to take you to the next level.
Do you
like,
think I'm attractive?
Stop it. Duh.
Annie's going to be riding that high for the next week.
My compliments last like a week for me. It's great.
It's so good. It's so good. But no, I mean, sometimes it does feel a little bit like, I'll laugh to my husband about it. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to open our home to some strangers tomorrow and people are going to come in here and I'm going to like whip some drapes around. Like, is this real?
Right.
Yeah.
Is this real life? Like, I get it. But every single session I do with people, I see it. Like, I see the reveal too. And then I get the high off of them because they're like, oh my gosh, I look so good. I'm like, yeah, you do.
Yes.
You really do.
What a life. I love
infectious.
that.
It is infectious.
That's amazing.
So when someone comes to you, let's say a woman who just has to make her thoughts be known.
Let's have it.
So she says, I really want to do this. This price is like out of control. Do you get that ever?
No.
Oh, good.
No.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't, but I also don't think I am attracting that.
It's probably more the people that are thinking about doing it and then are just saying that to their friends.
And they
probably don't get to you.
And you said something earlier about like, yes, there is a price on this. And I'm going to say something really bold. So hold on to your ass.
We love it.
I am not charging nearly enough.
Really?
No, seriously, if you think about it, like, you know what actually is expensive? It's really expensive to spend your whole life coloring your hair every 4 to 8 weeks incorrectly. It's really expensive to build an entire wardrobe full of crap clothing that makes you look and feel like garbage. It's really expensive to go invest in makeup that is not serving you. I'm about to get up.
Get up, bitch. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, we can build a capsule wardrobe. We can even dial in your makeup to where you're using less.
Yeah.
Nature gets it right with your hair.
Yep.
We don't have to spray tan. Maybe for some color, it's fine. But we don't have to do all that. Like, we just need to know the recipe and sort of stay in our lane. But I'm going to be able to give you these resources so you know forever and ever, amen, how it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
Now that is a worthy investment, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is so worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I learned so much. And you're right. It was agonizing to look at all of the makeup and foundations and stuff that I had bought in like a cool or neutral tone when I'm like definitively warm.
Definitively.
And then you can see the difference.
Yeah.
Then when I put on like the newer stuff, I was like, oh my God, I don't look so sickly.
Right.
This is amazing.
It can do that. So if you, like, for example, if you being warm based, if I start to cover you in cool based clothing, or if we start using cool toned makeup, sometimes, and this is going to be a dramatic way to say it, but it can kind of make you look like you're on ice. Like, she's unwell. She might be deceased.
Yes.
Like, it can put that gray taupey cast over your skin.
Yes.
And then this is what happens. You look at selfies of yourself and you're like feeling bad. You're like, oh man, I didn't look good at that party last night. No, you just had the wrong tones on.
Yeah.
You're a smoke show, Annie. Stop it.
Yes,
This is what I need. I know. Will you come on like every day?
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow.
So fun. I love it.
Can you tell us about a time, like maybe it was when you were in the music industry? Because I know that can be like, intense. or when you were about to make this pivot, or maybe when you left your career, but like when was a time you did feel really like an imposter? Like you had to really struggle with imposter syndrome?
Literally a few months ago.
Yeah.
Really?
No, yeah. So when things started to take off and people start sliding into the DMs and people start booking appointments. You know, when I first started, I was doing a couple people a week. It was cute. You know, we were making a little bit of money. I got the thing paid off. But then I would start to look up the people that are coming to see me. You know, now I don't even have the time, and I frankly don't do it with the intention of I don't want to get in my head.
Yeah.
But I had sort of noticed this name come across my appointment software, and I thought, oh my God, this person is like a big deal in my mind.
Okay.
She's on a billboard in Green Hills. She is an esthetician to the stars. She is stunning. She is beautiful. In my mind, she's like in the cool kids club, and she's coming to me. Ooh. Like, what? Who do I think I am to teach this gorgeous woman anything?
Wow.
That's so
Yeah, no,
real.
that was a conversation, like real talk.
Yeah.
I was nervous.
Yeah.
She ended up coming. We, of course, bonded immediately and clicked. We still stay in touch. She's sending me tons of clients.
Amazing.
And it's been amazing. And since that day, earlier this year, I cut the wire on imposter syndrome. I don't have time for it.
Yeah.
I don't have time for it. It's getting in my way if I want to grow. And by the way, also, if you're not a little bit scared or nervous, then that means you're not pushing yourself or doing anything worthy. Like if you're not shaking in your boots on occasion, then what are you even doing?
Yeah.
You got to get out of the comfort zone because that's where the magic happens.
That's where it happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
But no, I was scared, but you do it anyway. And you get the reps in and you build the muscle so that next time you do it, it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
That's a really good way of putting it.
The reps. The only way like you get more comfortable at doing something is doing it over and over.
No, you do the hard
that's
thing.
exactly why we started this podcast.
Exactly.
And why we made it about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Like
And
we
why-
made it about imposter syndrome because we were like, who are we to start a podcast?
Yes.
That was it.
That was our, like, I was like, no, we're not, I don't know.
Like, who's going to listen to it?
Yeah.
And then it was like, who fucking cares? Let's just do it and have fun.
Yeah.
And it'll attract the right people. Like, we have a very, like, busy woman who carved time out of her schedule because she thought it was going to be fun to be on our podcast. Like,
Yeah.
I love it.
that's so cool for us.
It's fun.
That's really cool.
Yes.
Wow.
Can you tell us about a time, Hannah, that maybe you quit something or hard pivoted that was, like, a little scary at first, but then it just ended up working out for the best? Because I think what we always talk to our listeners about is like, that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Is the big quit, like the big pivot, whatever that is in your life.
Yeah.
And maybe you already answered that in your kind of former questions, but
No, I think I'll take it back to my previous life. I had always wanted to work in the music industry. That was my dream. And I worked for the boss, and he was the president of the company. I was his administrative assistant. And so, of course, as we know how this really works is when you work for the boss and you're the right-hand man, you're doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
But particularly in Nashville, the pay is not representative of such, especially in the music industry, because there's so many people hungry and eager and will do it for nothing. But after 9 years of giving my life to this company, and really the paycheck didn't represent that.
Yeah.
So I kept talking to my boss and I was like, hey, I know you say you value me and this and that, but we need to, like, something has to change. He's like, yeah, give me a couple of weeks, come back again. He wasn't ready. Give me a couple of months, come back again. At that point, it's like, how's that expression go? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame. Yeah,
Fool
you
me-
know.
Yeah. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
There
That's
it
the
is.
one.
Yeah.
So after that second time, he's like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get you the raise. I couldn't get it through. The very next day, I came in and handed him my letter of resignation.
Good
I
for
was
you.
like, I'm out.
Was he shocked?
Oh yeah. I handed it to him and he was like, no. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
that's
dude.
what happens. Like,
Yeah.
it has like your inability to meet me where I'm at has consequences.
Right. I had 2 kids in daycare. That's a mortgage.
Oh God. Yeah.
It's insane.
And, Joelle and I have both been in similar situations in our career. And I think the really important thing, again, as a woman, is that, I bet he took women seriously moving forward when they asked for raises.
I hope so.
I hope so. Or he at least thinks about that now.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
oh, if I don't take this seriously and value my employees, like I could lose them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was, I mean, to speak to anybody that might be in a situation like it was scary.
Yeah.
But like
So
the money
scary.
I was saving on daycare and the amount of money that I was making at that time, I was probably saving money by bringing the kids home. And I was able to be with them and like get my daughter into kindergarten and, do those young years that you guys are in right now.
Yeah.
That was really special.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't take it back.
Yeah.
That's great.
Exactly.
I feel like you're in such a good place. It's actually a really aspirational place. So much of what you said, I just know is going to get through to our listeners. And I really hope this reaches a lot of people because I think a lot of women need to hear this. A lot of anyone needs to hear this. Now we like to dream big here on the Great Imposters Podcast. We like to dream. We like to really put ourselves out there to the universe and manifest. Okay. So if there were no boundaries today, so like let's say the kids are grown, let's say money didn't matter.
Yeah.
What is a risk you would take either with your business or your personal life that you would just like, let's do that today?
I know there's a private jet involved.
Okay. Love that.
PJ.
I don't know how, and I don't know where I'm going. I'm either going to be invited. I don't know that I'll own it. That's too much. That's too much. No, I do think that this is going to be a catalyst for something else for me.
Okay.
Because this is a franchise and that is a beautiful thing. And because of this franchise, it is putting me out there. But I do think the marriage of this particular industry and me is a good one.
Yes.
So however I can continue to like, like I want to hype people up. Like, I don't know if we're doing podcast tours.
Yeah.
I don't know if there is potential clothing lines for me in the future or just some higher level like image coaching.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's more. I'm just scratching the surface, but there will be a jet involved. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
the jet will be involved, whatever it is.
Yeah. She's transatlantic on a PJ,
Yeah.
That's
Like
private jet.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Doing something.
For
sure.
I love that.
Do you have if you had to choose between the styling side and the color analysis side, would that be a tough decision if you had to pick one?
The color comes so easily to me, I will say, because my eyes are so trained.
Yeah.
The styling, I think I have so much more to uncover there, which is a challenge, and that's a good thing.
It's kind of an art and a science.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Ooh,
I feel like
it is
so deep.
It's
No,
so
I
deep.
feel like the color analysis, it's very not black and white, like not to get pun intended, I guess, because like it's just, there's no room for opinion, really.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
Like this is good.
And there's
this
no
is not.
feeling.
Yeah.
It's not like I need it to fit or not.
Yes,
It just
it's a
does.
science.
Yeah.
It's like this is your undertone, and these colors pull you in the right direction. That's your season. It's just kind of what it is. And then style is like such an art.
So subjective.
Right.
So much more to interpret.
Have you ever had someone disagree with you in a color analysis?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
One was actually a trauma psychologist.
Oh
God.
That one would have given me
You would have
imposter
thought
syndrome.
that would she would have handled it well.
Yeah.
So she comes in with platinum hair, but dressed basically living her best autumn life. So we kind of have two stories going on. Very cool hair, very warm in how she dressed and did her makeup.
Okay.
Come to find out she's a winter. She couldn't get her head around that. Absolutely not. Like that is completely opposite how I have been living my life. She pulls out her phone. She shows me every picture of her closet. She's like, no, you don't understand.
It can't be.
My entire closet is autumn. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And that just means we have room for improvement. And this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't it be better for you to come to me and then I can give you some input on how to make things better versus like, oh yeah, you're doing great. Thanks for coming by.
Well, I was going to say, why'd she even go to you if she was so...
No, it took,
What's the point?
It took 3 hours for her. She didn't want to see it. She didn't. She had a bad relationship with purple. Like there was someone in her family that she didn't like that like always wore purple, and it just totally freaked her out. And like, couldn't get her head around it. But now she is fully living it.
Okay, great.
Fully living.
She's
Just
converted.
Took her a minute. But she's on the dark side. She's on the cold, icy side now.
Hell
It's
yeah.
good.
Wow.
It's good.
That's crazy.
So if someone told you that you could only wear one color for the rest of your life, what color would you pick?
I mean, probably black.
Because you have black.
'Cause I
guess, in your-
can.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
that's a fun fact. Everyone, black is not...
Black is not best for everyone.
It's not best for everyone. very fortunately best for me and for Hannah.
Yeah.
Not for Annie.
Sorry, not sorry.
Which is funny because I kind of knew that it wasn't. I would see pictures of myself wearing black, which I always would go to because you assume it's slimming and all of that.
Yeah.
But I would look back and be like, I don't look good in black.
Yeah.
And then it opens your eyes, the whole thing. And it's funny because you could look at going to get your colors done as a blessing or a curse. Not a curse, but like in that person's case, it's like, well, my entire closet is this. So now I have to like start over. So like if that's your mindset, it will probably be maybe a harder pill to swallow. But for Annie and I, it has changed our lives. We did not expect that either. Like we were like, we want to get into this. It's the hot thing to do right now. Hannah seems cool. We're going to go do it. We're going to have her on the podcast. We did not expect it to have this life altering power over us.
Well, and I didn't expect it to be so fun. You're so fun.
It was so fun.
You're fun.
No,
Stop.
Hannah is
Wait, okay.
hysterical. Like if you're in Nashville, obviously you have to go to Hannah, even just for like the fun. Like it's so fun.
It is fun.
I
don't know if
I had a good time.
I don't know if they're all like you.
We're all different, right? So the other day somebody came and I always ask people, how do you find me? Right? Like how do you even get here? And usually it's like, well, it's TikTok or Instagram, sent me down a wormhole. Then I land on the website, find a consultant near you.
Yep.
And she told me, she said, I choose you like I choose wine. And she looked at she's like, I looked at all the labels and I liked your label. And I was like, let's go.
That's so sweet.
That's really sweet.
You know, just like you go down the bread aisle.
Yeah.
And I tell people that all the time. Like stylists, for anything, makeup artist, hairstylist, whatever it is, whatever field you're in. You walk down the bread aisle, you're going to have your, gluten-free, you're going to have your sourdough, you're going to have some croissants. Everybody wants something different. I think I'm probably like the sourdough.
You think so?
For sure.
Oh, I just love sourdough bread.
Yeah.
Health benefits.
Oh, fermented and delicious. Great
exactly.
toasted. Love it.
As a winter.
Yes.
Is there a color that you are really devastated is not in your palette?
You know what I really enjoy is the lime, we call it with House of Color, but it's also called chartreuse in the wild. Oh, it's so hot.
Yeah.
It is that really yummy electric lime greenish color. It's all over everywhere right now.
Yeah.
And I just think it's delicious and I love it.
But
also listen.
But you might look like jaundice.
I might look jaundice. And these are tools, not rules.
Tools, not rules.
Tools, not rules.
If you have something and you want to wear it and it makes you feel like $1 million, I'm never going to stop you. I'm actually never going to take anything away from you. Even if we're like deciding black is not your best, we'll find ways to break it up. Maybe we'll put black on the bottom and your color on the top.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
But no, sometimes you just have to play and that's okay too.
Love it.
That's good to hear.
Chartreuse is in my
Have grace with
right?
yourself.
Yes.
Have grace with yourself. I know you don't.
I went full.
She burned it down. The
I
closet.
know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like insufferable right now to like everyone in my life. I'm like, well, as a cool winter, like I've made it my entire personality.
It's your new pronoun.
Yeah. It is my pronoun.
You have to change your email signature.
Yes, as cool
She,
winter.
her, cool winter.
Oh my God. Well, we could literally talk forever. But I think we should probably let Hannah get back to her incredibly busy schedule because she's wah. So we like to end with some advice, which I think you've really peppered in throughout the episode. But what's a piece of advice you would give to our listeners who are struggling with imposter syndrome right now at this very moment?
Do it anyway. Literally. The only way that you can heal or grow is to face the hard thing. And I'm telling you, and also if you don't know what imposter syndrome is, then you're not living. Because if you're not scaring the crap out of yourself a little bit, then you're not even like scratching the surface on what your potential is. You got to get a little scared.
You do.
But you have to do it. Build the muscle. Do it anyway. You will get better. It will get less intimidating. I promise.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I was thinking about this yesterday while I was driving. I was having like a weird meta thought. And it was kind of along those lines. I'm like, you can do anything.
Yeah.
You can actually do anything. Like, I think we're so conditioned just kind of the way we're brought up, and you go to school, like you apply to college, you go to the one you get into, like you apply to jobs, you go to the one you get the offer.
Right.
And then it's like, but you could also do whatever you want on
Also
the side.
that.
Like I have a career that anchors me, but it's also like, no one ever told me or pushed me to get into makeup. I'm like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Just do it. And that's the same thing with this. And when I worked at Sephora for 6 weeks during everything, like you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
It's just, there's no one telling you not to. I mean, obviously, unless it's
Right.
illegal, but just like,
But also just don't get caught. And
totally.
Rules are.
Oh, wait, I have one more little piece.
Please.
Yes.
I have this postcard that my mom gave me like 20 years ago, and it's one of those like self-help things, but it says, be brave, even if you're not. Fake it, because no one can tell the difference.
Fake it.
Nobody knows.
I love that.
Like, just be an actor. Be like, I'm going to put on my mask. I'm going to put on my colors and my lipstick today. And they won't even know.
Yeah.
They won't even know that I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Do it anyway.
I love that. I always tell I try to tell my 6-year-old, because sometimes she'll come home and be like, I didn't go to the bathroom at school today because I didn't want to ask my teacher. She's got, we're working through it. But I'm always like, let's go through what's the worst thing that could happen if you asked. And then she's like, well, like she might say, no, not right now. We're in the middle of, I don't know, math.
Right.
Go after. Like the worst thing that can happen is someone says no.
Right.
Or someone says like, this isn't for me, in a real world example, not going pee. But, and that's okay. Like we all need to get more comfortable with rejection or with like our thing not being everyone's thing too. That's
totally.
okay.
For sure.
I'm dealing with that with I think it was our finale.
Yeah.
We talked about my subs. I finally did launch my Substack, and I've put a lot out, like I've put a decent amount of writing out there, but I'm finding myself before every single one, like, oh, is this relevant to people? Is this interesting? And it's like, that's not what it's about. It just has to be like, you just have to do it. You have to do the thing. You have to be open for it, some people to like it and some people not to.
Yes. And I've actually, in our break, have had a lot of time to think about our podcast, most of it being positive, of course. But then I'm like, I've met so many people that like a lot of public figures, big and small, and everyone has a podcast. And I've had little inches of me be like, what are we doing in this space? Like, it's so saturated. And then I'm like, remembering we belong here.
Yeah.
Yes.
We belong here, and people who want to find us are going to find us.
Yes.
So
Your people will find you.
Yes. I think the people that make it doing what they love make it because they authentically enjoy it,
Yeah.
And that's really important. And that came through with your
Back at you guys. Back at you.
All right. So now that you've had your Great Imposters color analysis ambassadors, I'm confident that our imposters and banter queens are going to want. Wait, actually, hold on. That makes me think. Can men do this?
I do men all the time.
You do men all the time.
She winked.
Do you do color analyses for men?
That's what I meant, obviously.
Obvi.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so men, get yours done too, because like I see some of y'all out there in your black hats and you look
Looking crusty and dusty.
Looking crusty, dusty, jaundice. Okay, so if a male or female wants to get their color analysis done with you, now that we've sold them on it, because it's amazing, where can they find you?
So you can find me. Probably the best way is Instagram, House of Color, COLOUR.
That's right, the British color.
That's right.
Yep. Okay.
House of Color, Nashville, Hannah. You can probably also Google Hannah Garber and you can find me.
Okay. Love it.
Anything else you want to plug?
I actually have a podcast as well. Why not?
Hell yeah.
It's called Your Lifestylist. My best friend and I do it. You can find us on Spotify.
Wait, why are we just finding this out?
Yeah.
Well, because this is your show and I'm a guest.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but I feel like you didn't bring this up before.
Now I feel like a jerk store.
It's not about me, guys. It's not about me. It's
It
about
sure
you.
is
I'm here
about
to
you.
hype you up.
She's
Go.
selfless.
What's it about?
No, we
Tell
talk
everyone.
about like digging in more about color and style
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
all the things.
Wait,
like,
that's so great. 'Cause
very
that's a
behind the
great
scenes.
That's a great place to start with you too.
Oh yeah. And then, you can check it out and hear more about like literally crazy stories of people that cry, have like out of body experiences or nearly not like get vomit. She got nauseous and needed a mint and had to turn the fan on when she saw the difference between warm and cool.
Oh.
It was intense.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Because like
Wow.
people have different reactions to.
She was like super self-aware and she could she looked deceased and she could see it and it freaked her out.
Oh my God.
It was wild.
That's like
That
a vasovagal response. Do you know what that is? I have it. It's like
Wait.
sometimes
yes.
like a piercing or a needle or something just like instantly causes you to like
collapse.
It's like different.
Oh,
yeah.
that's what that's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I get like really lightheaded sometimes. When, yeah.
Like, so you pass out when you have to get blood drawn?
I used to. I feel like I've built that muscle up
grown-
over time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Zoloft maybe killed it or
I think
something?
pregnancy does a lot
Okay.
for you when
Okay.
you know, if you can get through that, everything else is very silly after that.
Wow. Okay. Listeners, we're going to sell some hats.
We're going to
Let's
sell some
go.
hats. For now, what I want you to do, we're doing a limited drop at first. Okay. That's what the kids call it, or the cool people call it.
Right. The
So we have,
youths.
we have the Banter Queen hats. We have the Imposter hat. I think you should get both because they're very different.
You can wear them, with your significant other. You can.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'd be so cute. So just
adorable.
for now, just DM us to get one. And then once we go through this initial drop, we're gonna do the damn thing on Shopify.
Yeah. And then this part's really hard for me, but when Hannah becomes a life coach, she'll teach me how to do it better. But one thing we did learn during our break, as we, talked about in our finale, Joelle and I love this. We love potting.
We love potting.
And we want this to be our thing.
Yes.
So we need y'all to go subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
Yes, we need it. That's how we grow. Apparently that's like the currency.
Yes, that's the currency.
Yes, that's what we've learned is if you want to grow, you need all those things. So if you're listening, if you enjoy us, if you want to support us, that's the way to do it. You can find us at Great Imposters Podcast on TikTok, Instagram. If you want to email us, greatimposterspodcast@gmail.com.
You guys, you aren't emailing us. Email us. I want to just send me a note that's just like, hey.
Yeah, just to make sure it works.
I'm going to send some wild ass emails.
Yes. Okay, send me some wild ass emails.
Oh my gosh. Well, this has been so much fun. And this has been Joelle.
This has been Annie.
It's Hannah.
Woo! And we will catch you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.